Standing by live at Just Junk this morning. Good morning, Megan. What is this company doing?
Thanks, Julie. Yes, Just Junk, they not only remove some unwanted items that you don't want anymore, but they also help divert a lot of the stuff out of landfills, and they actually reuse them. I'm joined here by Michael and Mike. Thank you for being here this morning. Tell me a little bit about what's a typical day for you?
Typical day is basically we look at our board plan for our day. Normally we have a fair amount of jobs, so you kind of have to anticipate what you're doing with everything. Also planning to see what we're going to do for tool-wise, if we have to come prepared before we actually you have to get the junk going.
And so when you guys are out and about, what kind of items do you guys find, and are they reusable?
Yeah, most of the time they are. Like we can find anything, just like household stuff, like furniture and appliances and stuff like that, so it's very good.
And how much of the stuff is reusable, would you say?
A lot, actually. Even just recyclable products. We have a good relationship with Habitat for Humanity, so even if it's just building materials, or if it's like laminate flooring or tiles or larger furniture pieces, they love to take it so that way they can use it, and if it keeps as much as we can out of the landfill, we love to do it.
And why do you think it's so important to keep things out of a landfill? Like, is it true that we live in a society that we just keep buying new items and throw away things that are old but maybe usable?
Yeah, it's true. Like, it's nice to keep things out of the landfill for the fact that people being able to reuse them. That's the big purpose with everything. It's great because, you know, there are less fortunate people that can't go and buy things brand new, and the best thing to get it, if you can get it used, absolutely.
And it still works, then why not reuse it?
Exactly.
And so what are some unique items that you guys have found while on the job?
Lots of stuff, like I found like a coin collection, which is good, dating back like way far back with like countries like far away. I also like coming across like vintage stuff, so like comic books. I like vintage records and stuff like that. But I grew up like in the 80s and the 90s, so if I come across things like Pogs, Super Soakers, any stuff like that, classic game systems, that's kind of my go-to. So.
And
yeah.
how about yourself?
To be honest, I'm a minimalist myself now, working into it. I try not to bring anything myself, but I do find like the interesting things that that you can have in your house. That my wife's a crafter, so anything I can bring home that's broken jewelry or anything like that, she loves to be able to rebuild stuff out of it. So, yeah.
Exactly. And again, you guys like to reuse items. What are some companies that you guys work with or in our partnership with?
We deal with Habitat for Humanity, as I said before. We also deal with Salvation Army. Those are primarily who we try to stick to, just for the whole nonprofit organizations. Besides that, that's who we stick to. We deal with transfer stations that have landfills, so more of our recyclable products can go there. We deal with Westendorf. They're at Westbrook Road for disposal.
It sounds like a pretty interesting job to do, and it sounds like you find a lot of unique items. Thank you very much for being here this morning.
Okay.
Again, we're at Just Junk here in Kingston. For now, I'll throw it back to you in the studio, Julie.
Thank you, Megan. Turning to local sports now.